Jason, an obnoxiously big question for you to start here. Can you tell me something about your approach to producing horror movies that has stayed the same since day one, but then also tell me something new that you're doing now to evolve with how, the industry is changing and how viewer habits are changing?
Something that stayed the same is our model of no money up front and make the money if the movie works is the same as it's always been. Something that's different is our budgets are not as low. We used to make movies for $1 million or $3 million or $5 million. Now we're more like 10 to 15 million to try and remain competitive in what is a very, difficult theatrical marketplace.
Just because I'm curious now, do you see a future where the lower budget horror movies do have potential in this industry, or is that time kind of come and gone?
Well, they have a lot of potential on streaming and on television, and we still make lower budget movies for streaming and very low budget movies for streaming and television, one. And two, 100% for sure, someone is going to make $1 million, the next Blair Witch or Paranormal Activity. Someone will make that, figure out what that is. But as a rule, it's much harder to make a movie for $2 or $3 million that'll wind up in a theater than it used to be.
Yep. That is, I feel like that's a sad truth, but also you leveling up with budgets is panning out quite well. So I wouldn't mind more of those as well. Jeff, for you, a question about designing Chauncey. Actually, I have a bunch of questions here. First, did you always know that you wanted him to be a stuffed bear, or did you ever consider any other options?
Chauncey was going to be a stuffed bear pretty much from Jump Street. I wanted to make a movie about an imaginary friend. I signed a first look deal with Jason. And so I was starting to talk to other writers, seeing if they wanted to collaborate with me. And Greg Erb is an old friend of mine, and his writing partner, Jason Ormland, came in, and they wanted to make an evil teddy bear movie. And I think sort of an evil teddy bear movie alone was not enough. An imaginary friend movie was not enough. But when we combined them, it really just kind of blossomed in our minds.
And combining them led to Chauncey Beast.
Yes.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between how you pictured the bear beast looking when you first committed to this idea and what it turned out to look like in the finished product?
I mean, it's pretty close. I got to be honest with you. I remember writing in the action that it looked like Leatherface meets the rabbit from Donnie Darko. And I feel like we kind of have that effect. Like he's kind of got this sort of sagging, terrifying face that is evocative of Leatherface. He's got that sort of man in a suit quality of the rabbit in Donnie Darko. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. But that being said, that was just my initial idea. I have so many incredible collaborators. Spectral Motion made all the monsters in our movie. They helped me design the bear beast, design the suit. Dane, who's a suit performer who had played Predator in the previous Predator film. I mean, he added so much to the performance. So I guess in one sense, it very much was what I imagined, but in another sense, it was far more terrifying than I could have ever imagined.
I want more good things for Dane in this business.
Yes,
I really enjoy his time in the spotlight right now with this and Prey. One more Chauncey question for you, because I tend to get a little obsessed with movie Bibles and lores and rules. So I was wondering, did you whip up a Chauncey Bible or set of rules? And if so, what would you say are like the top rules that stuck with you in terms of how Chauncey operates and also what his limitations are?
Well, we're going to get into some serious spoiler territory if I start into this.
I can let you do that.
Okay.
I'm going to put up the spoiler warning for our viewers. If you have not seen Imaginary, it is in theaters now. Push pause on this video, go catch the movie, come back and push play, and the interview begins right here and you're safe.
Perfect. I mean, look, the number one rule, in fact, I wrote it on a note card and put it on my wall in my office during prep. I wrote it on a piece of tape and put it on my monitors during production. They actually put it on the call sheet every day. The number one rule for Chauncey was the bear is not there. And we had to say that over and over and over again because we had to remind all the actors on set not to look at the bear. Because when you see the film, you'll realize that only Jessica and Alice can see the bear. So anytime Tegan was in a scene or Betty was in a scene or Veronica was in a scene, I had to constantly be reminding them because it's easy to forget on set. Pyper's holding the stuffed bear to look at the stuffed bear, interact with the stuffed bear. Don't do it. The bear is not there.
It's a very appropriate role to remind everyone of frequently. Jason, I have to ask you one upcoming project question before I leave here. You do have like a million things going on, and we never know when we look at IMDb whether something's really happening or not. So I'm going to put the power in your hands. If you could snap your fingers right now and greenlight the Blumhouse project of your choice, what would you pick and why?
Friday the 13th is what I would pick. It's not a Blumhouse project, but I'm trying to will it. I'm trying to will it into being one, and it's just a piece of IP I've always loved. And James Wan and Atomic Monster are very passionate about it, and I think we would have them shepherd it for us, and that would be a lot of fun. I'm crushed. I wanted it to be imaginary too. Why can't you say imaginary too? You can snap your fingers and make anything happen. I'm sitting right here.
There's an imaginary anthology series where you just keep bumping around with different families and different imaginary friends.
I mean, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it.
Fair enough. There's no jinxing. There's only manifesting when you talk to Collider.
Okay,
Congratulations on the movie, and thank you so much for your time.